إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتون إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا والنساء واتقوا الله الذي تسألون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد. After praising Allah Azza wa Jalla Jalaluhu and saying the peace and blessings upon our beloved Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Today, Ikhwa, the khutbah is geared toward the men, the believing men in this ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And what comes about today, rather it's a question to cause us to examine ourselves, and that is, how are we impacting our families? How are we impacting our families? What is the impact we have on our families, our wives and our children? We find that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in the authentic hadith collected by Ibn Majah, hadith Hasan, Ibn Abbas رضي الله تعالى عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال خيركم أهله وأنا خيركم أهلي. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the best of you, not the worst of you, not the least of you, not the tall of you, not the short of you, not the muscular of you, or the non-muscular of you. He said the best of you are those who are the best to their families. And he said, and I'm the best to my family. Now, and this is well known. And so with that understanding that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best to his family, it's imperative that we look at him. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ كَمَا قَالَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى. Allah Azza wa Jalla, he said about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, indeed we have given you in the Messenger of Allah the most excellent example. But we also know that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam pointed to his companions and the tabi'een and the tabi'een, that we look to them and that we take from them also. Now, so we find when we're talking about being good to our families, of course we're talking about kindness, being kind to them. Of course we're talking about gentleness, being gentle with them. Of course we're talking about being tolerant with them. All of the above. But we're also talking about having an impact upon them based upon what we have. Shaykh al-Albani, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said in one of his books, Tawheed Awalan Ya Du'atul Islam, Tawheed first, O caller to Islam, he said, Faqidu shay'un la yu'ti. A man can't give what he doesn't have. And we have to put this at the top of the talk, that a man can't give what he doesn't have. So it's upon him, wajib alayna, upon us, it's an obligation that we attain something so that we can disseminate it, so that we can give it. We find from the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or rather the Salaf, Abu Darda radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that our beloved Sheikh Saleh Ali Sheikh Hafidhullah ta'ala, he said, we should be like Abu Darda, Allahu Akbar, as relates to how he was with his family. He said Darda was a scholar and a faqihah. Subhanallah. She was a scholar and a person of jurisprudence, of fiqh. Subhanallah. He said, but how is this possible that she became such an expert in Islamic knowledge? And not just an expert in it, but he said she acted upon it. Now, this is a requirement with knowledge. Knowledge demands action. Now we learn this in Thalathatul Usul. Now that we attain the knowledge, and that knowledge has to be acted upon, is called to, and we patient upon that. Ma'ruf, well known among us. Insha'Allah ta'ala. The Sheikh said, how did this happen? And it's known that she didn't go out to classes and sit in the muhadara. She didn't take time to go sit in the halaqah to learn what she had. Now, and he said, how did this learning take place? And her husband was always given his rights. How did that happen? Shaykh Hafidhullah ta'ala, he said, this happened because of Abu Darda, who himself, he was strong in Islamic knowledge, and he himself was a faqih, a person of fiqh. He said, what we notice with regards to the many men in this ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they all talk to their families. Everyone who has a family, at some point, at some time, they sit and they talk with the family. He said, but what we find that they talk about is those things that are around, you know, those family-like issues. Ta'am wa sharab, food, drink. He said, or maybe he deals with his family as relates to his manly needs. And then he just goes and comes because he has he has a job, he works. So how is the family benefiting from him? He says, so now, when this interaction occurs with his family, this interaction is on a very, very small level. Drink, food, intimacy. That's it. No real time spent. The family not truly benefiting from him. Some of the Muslim men have become delusional, and they think because their wife has jilbab or niqab, she's all in black, he got on the thobe, a kufi, he has a nice beard, all the children dressed correctly, everybody's praying, that everybody understands the religion. They assume that all of their children and their wives understand the religion. But if we took a survey and we examined ourselves, we don't have to examine one another. If we examine ourselves, we say, well, what's the haqq? What's the truth? As it relates to knowledge concerning our children, the one thing we do know about them is how much Quran they have. But what about their aqidah? Is it sound? What about the minhaj? Or are the children just imitating and emulating their parents upon a da'wah to Salafiyyah? But they don't really understand the da'wah. They don't really understand the issues of aqidah. Now, and sometimes it's a small issue to see and understand. If we still find our children using this word lucky, we haven't done our job. If we still find our children saying, Abi, I was lucky, and you don't correct it, and you say, yeah, wallahi, alhamdulillah, you support it, the child's making shirk. Who is luck? Attributing their good benefit, their favor from Allah to luck. Man, who? This wasn't the case with Abu Darda and Darda, radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in. The Shaykh said, rather, this type of behavior with the family is not acceptable. It's hated. It's disliked. The Shaykh said, for most of the people, or rather from the foremost people that you should be involved in teaching and protecting from Jahannam, who has more rights on you than your family? And he said, and when the negative outcome occurs, you can't blame anybody but yourself. You know what's funny, the Sheikh mentioned this, is that we find most of our times the imams, the du'at, we spend a lot of time trying to educate the people outside of our household. A lot of time. We spend a lot of time trying to soften the hearts of the people outside of our household. Likewise, it's not just the imams and the du'at, it's the brothers among themselves. We have more Islamic advice and ayat and hadith for one another than we have for our wives and our children. We don't deal with them in the same way. Now, when our children get into arguments, we yell and we beat them. We're not saying that spanking the child isn't from the deen. It's well known, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, hang the stick where the child can see it. So when they start to do something, you point and say, Ya Abdullah, Ya Abdullah. So he stops. Because he understands without taking it down, and it's halal. It's not the sunnah. But we're not raising them on the good aqeedah. One of the mashayikh, when we were in Medina, whose name escaped me, he mentioned that some people said to him, that this came from someone else, Asad, Jeddah, that one of the mashayikh mentioned that someone came to him and said, or rather praised his children. And when they praised his children, he said, my wife, my wife. Wallahi, that's the reality. The brother, he works, and the wife is the one who's home, teaches the child to say Bismillah. The Qud bil Yamin, he said to eat with his right hand. It's the mother who teaches the child to recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Then the father, after all the work has been done, he comes into the masjid holding his son's hand, and he comes, he stands in the salah, he starts to pray, and the brother says, MashaAllah, I mean, your brother, your son, he doesn't run around the masjid, he come and pray with the men. MashaAllah. The brother, he don't say nothing, he just smiled, like he take the credit. But it was really his wife who did it. Now, the sheikh, he said, is my wife, my wife. He said, indeed, he started to tell a story about how his wife was with the children and why they were so upright. He said, one day my two children were arguing with each other, these little kids. And one of them cursed the other, not the cursing that we know here in America. The cursing that's like known among the Arabs, like may Allah break your leg, may Allah break your neck. That type. One of them said something like this to the other, and the mother came out and said, indeed, you have made Shaitan happy, and you made him bigger, and you made Allah angry. And the child said, oh, Ummi, how can I make Shaitan smaller and angry and make Allah happy? She said, go and apologize to your brother and ask Allah to forgive you. He went and apologized to his brother. He asked Allah to forgive him. He said, Ya Ummi, is Shaitan small now? Is he mad and Allah's happy with me? She said, yes. He said, what else can I do to make Shaitan mad and shrink? That's Aqidah. That's what we're raising the children upon. That's the type of effect, the impact we're supposed to have upon our families and concern. Like the Sheikh said, if there is a bad outcome, you can't blame anybody but yourself. He said, indeed, Allah Azza wa Jalla mentions in this noble book, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nar wa quduha an-nas wa hijara. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, O you who believe, save yourself and your family. Save yourself and your family. Save yourself. How do you save yourself? By attaining that which you need to save your family. By learning this religion. Because how are you going to save your family if you don't have anything? You can't teach them a tawheed. Now, you can't teach them the aqidah. You can't teach them how to pray. You don't even know how to call the adhan. So what about little Abdullah? How are you going to teach him? Now, most of the children, they grow up before we even start talking to them, watching, and they emulate and imitate everything that we do. So you're not praying in your home sometime, then know that your children are not going to be drawn to the Salaam. It's known, those who pray in their house and have little children, those little children come and stand next to them, they stand for 2-3 seconds, watch you, and they walk away. They're picking it up. But if you never do that, their lives, their hearts are void of the Salah. If you're not in your house talking about Allah, His Messenger, the companions, the Sahabiyat, the scholars of this religion, and you're talking about football, basketball, and all that other mess, then that's how your child is going to come up. Their aqidah is dribbling and shooting and ishab. Now, man, we have to have an impact on our families. Now, the same impact or even more that we desire to have upon one another. May Allah Azza wa Jalla help us. The Sheikh said Abu Darda's wife, Darda, was an expert in fiqh. And this was only due to him educating her and teaching her how to understand the religion. Now, because whatever you do, ya Habib, it gets passed down. You teach your wife one statement, one ayat, one hadith, she is going to give it to your children. And inshallah ta'ala, your children are going to have children. And those children are going to have children. And so on and so on and so on. What you do now is going to impact your family. Stop thinking about the family that's in your house. Think about the generation after you when you're dead. And when they look back, because some of us are the first Muslims in our household. So when they refer back to how did you become Muslim, they're going to say my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. His name was James Harry. He took the name Abdullah. That's where it started. You go check Ancestry.com. Go ahead, look up your people. All of them Nasara, Christian. Whether through easy acceptance or by the whip. Christians. And now Allah Azza wa Jalla, in His wisdom, with His decree, made you Muslim. The family changes today. But you have to make an impact. You have to leave something, an inheritance that gets passed down after you're gone. A tremendous impact upon your family. This is how we have to think. What's going to happen after me? The Sheikh said, indeed, she attained this understanding from her husband Abu Darda. He says, so when we talk to our families, our wives and our families, he said we talk to them about ilm, about knowledge. Now, and we talk to them about those things that will benefit them, ilm nafi'ah, Knowledge which is wasi'ah. This beneficial knowledge is wide, man, from ayahs from the Quran, tafsir, hadith, the books of the Mashayikh. Beneficial knowledge, the type of knowledge that is going to save you from Jahannam, like was mentioned in the ayah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, qu anfusakum wa ahlikum naran, wa khudha an-nas wa hijara. Oh, you who believe, save yourself and your families from a fire that's fueled by men and stone. By men and stone. What's the fuel of Jahannam? Men and stone. If we don't do our job in trying to raise righteous, upright children and wives as it relates to advising them and us, may Allah protect us, can be fuel for Jahannam. The objective is not to be fuel for the hellfire. So the Shaykh said, indeed, we have to talk to them about knowledge and those things that benefit them, and talk to them about the lives of the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and talk to them about those things that you've heard the Mashayikh say. Not all of our wives can make it to the muhadara, the durus in the masjid. Not all of them may have the ability to go online and listen to the Mashayikh. But we find that the brothers are real handy in attaining information. That information should be disseminated to your wife and your children first. We hear stuff and say, oh, that's deep. We get on the phone and call the brother. Yeah, you know what I just heard Sheikh Fawzan, Hafidullah Ta'ala, he said, subhanAllah, you need to go and grab your wife and sit down and say, listen what I just came across. Gather your children, gather the family. Listen to what I just heard. We start there. We love everybody else, of course. But we start at home first, because that's what Allah told us to do. Qu anfusakum wa ahlikum naran. He said in the beginning, when we start sitting down with our families, and this is the wisdom of the Mashayikh. He said when we first sit down with our families, they may find it kind of boring the first time. He said the second time. He said even the 10th time. He said, but look how you are with the people outside of your house. You come and tell them again and again and again and again until Allah softens their hearts. He said, wallahi, we have to have the same type of raghbah. Now, zeal with our families, and telling them and calling them and reminding them, and being gentle and easy with them, and tolerant, because sometimes we think that when we tell somebody something, they're going to make a change right in front of our eyes. The doubt is not in your hand. The changing of hearts is not in your hand. It's with Allah Azza wa Jalla. So we have to be patient. We just want to give the information. So it raises them in Iman, so they can attain that which Allah Azza wa Jalla promised. Indeed, Allah raises in levels and degrees those from among you who believe, and those from among you who have been increased in knowledge. Because if the knowledge increases, the Iman increases, the taqwa increases, the ibadah increases. SubhanAllah. So we want to tell them first. And so we benefit them in ourselves. The Shaykh Saleh, Shaykh Hafidullah Ta'ala, he said, as for the one who just comes and goes and comes and goes, what is his concern? As long as I have food, drink, and intimacy, khalas, my house is good. SubhanAllah. He has fooled himself. He has fooled himself. As long as he has the things of this dunya, he's satisfied. As long as when he comes home, there's a plate of food on the table. and something to drink. As long as when he comes home, he has the entertainment system so he can watch foosball. I don't mean to make the brothers laugh. May Allah forgive me. Now, as long as he can spend time with foolishness and he's surrounded by the dunya, he's happy. And so Shaitan tricks him and removes his concern away from his family. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing the other thing. Alhamdulillah. Just because you see your kids playing and smiling, it doesn't mean that they're safe from Jahannam. This is how we get tricked. Because they have smiles on their face, they have ta'am, they got drink, we're good. We laugh, we spend time with one another, we're safe, we're safe. No, you're not safe. We know that it's not over until it's over. That means when the yaqeen, the certainty of death comes to us. Until then, we are working, trying to make sure. I'm talking about even on your deathbed, if your family surrounds you and you're about to die, you should ask them, what are you going to worship after me? You ask them. Because I swear by the Lord of the Kaaba, you don't want to hear one of your family members go, A'udhu billahi min dhalik. The Sheikh said, it's upon each and every man to realize that which the Prophet ﷺ said. In an authentic hadith collected in Adab al-Mufrad by Imam Bukhari, which is Sahih. عن ابن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنه قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن راتعاته. He said, every man, even though it includes the women and everyone who has a responsibility, but today he said every man should understand that each and every one of us, every one of you is a shepherd. And he has a flock. Your wife and your children is your flock. Take a minute to pause and think about the shepherd who's on the field and he has his sheep. And we know the objective of the shepherd is to keep the sheep away from the wolf so they don't get devoured. In this case, it's shaitan. This hadith comes from the Prophet ﷺ, well known. The objective is to keep the sheep safe from shaitan. So when you look at the shepherd standing in the field, he has in his hand what's called a crook. It's a staff that has a big curl on it, looking like a huge question mark. And this allows him, when the sheep start to get away, it allows him to reach out and hook it by the neck and pull it back to the flock. That's your job, brother. You cannot look at your Muslim child and they start to fall into some kind of difficulty. Gang-related, drug-related, zina-related. You say, yeah, man, you know, may Allah help them, you know, make dua for them. You're not going after them, huh? You're going to let them go? No, yeah, you make dua, but you reach out and you grab and you pull them back and give them the love and the care and the kindness and the tenderness that's needed. These are your children. This is the job of the shepherd. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, every one of you is a shepherd and he has a flock and he will be held responsible for his flock. Tomorrow on the day of Yom Qiyamah, you want to stand before Allah and then when Allah question your family, they're going to say, he never told us that. He never taught us that. He never helped us with this. We didn't know. Then what are we going to do? The objective is to avoid Jahannam. What are we going to do? Today, things have to change. We have to go home thinking I have to make an impact upon my family. So I'm cutting off the TV. Shutting down the football and baseball game. Who cares about the World Series? You don't make no money off of that anyway. taking sides. That's Bloods and Crips. It's a waste of time. A waste of time. We have to go home now with the mindset, the objective before Allah takes me from this earth is to save my family from Jahannam. Me and my family from Jahannam. Nothing else matters. So whatever I learn, whatever, if it's one hadith, one ayat, one statement, I'm taking it to them. And I'm removing blame from myself for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to help us in that. Ameen. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam tasliman kathiran ma ba'd. After that, of course, it doesn't mean that because of the time that we should keep our women away from the masjid. We have the authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ collected by Imam Bukhari, where he said, "An Salima an abihi." أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا استأذنت امرأة أحدكم إلى مسجدي فلا يمنعها. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said in this hadith, if any of your women ask you for permission to go to the masjid, he said, do not refuse them. This is important. Hopefully we're not slicksters who we prefer our women ignorant. You know, some brothers like their Muslim wives to be ignorant of Islam so that he can manipulate her and do whatever he wants in the religion without her having the ability to correct him because she don't know the religion. So part of that is to keep her away from the masjid and the sisters who understand the religion, and keep her away from the classes so she increases in iman and taqwa. They don't want that. Some people don't want that. It's a shayateen. Because the objective is to save ourselves and our families from Jahannam. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, if our wives ask to go to the masjid, to sit in the class with the sisters to learn the Quran, he said, let them. To come to the classes that are being given, let them. Because you yourself, my beloved, dear brothers in Islam, you may not have the time, and sometimes some of us don't have the ability. No, that's just okay. This is ta'awunu ala birri wa taqwa. This is the working together upon piety and righteousness. Now, we're a community, we're an ummah, so we help each other. We support one another. You're not alone. There's a ton of stuff that I don't know. And I depend on a lot of brothers here to teach my children and sisters to teach my daughters. I'm depending upon them because I don't have it. And when you don't have it, you have to realize I don't have it. So where can I go and get it so that it will benefit myself and my family? Only a coward is afraid to say he doesn't know, and he allows his family and himself to be destroyed. Only a coward. Rajul Qawi, the strong man, he said, look, I need help. Now, and this is how it's done. And Allah Ta'ala, we ask that Allah Azza wa Jal to aid us and help us. Because there is no aid except His and no help except by Him. We ask that Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive us on this blessed day of Yawmul Jum'ah. And we ask that Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive us for our sins. Those we have done knowingly, unknowingly, open and hidden. We ask that Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive us, as there is none who can forgive us and purify us except Him. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Come to Salaam.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.